Unsyndicated presents What the Puck with Sean Baligian.
You're going to have to excuse Mike and I. This is like the calm before the storm for us. The next few days are very, very busy for both of us, and I'm going to leave it at that. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing good. Yourself, my friend?
Well, you know what? Why don't we tell people why we're gonna get to all the trade stuff and the trades that were announced that didn't happen, or the trades that were announced that haven't happened yet, or the trades that were announced that weren't announced because a player wouldn't waive his no trade clause. And I have a feeling for the Red Wing fans out there, you're going to be mad at Mike and I because neither one of us are going to change our tune. But more on that in a second. Mike, the next few days, it starts for us literally with some fun tomorrow about 2:00 as you're coming over. We're going to barbecue some stuff. And then we have basically 3 days of hockey.
Well, it's only going to be fun if that bacon comes through, Sean. You've got 3 pounds of bacon that we're going to put in 2 burgers. And it's just got to come through. Then it'll be fun. Yeah, and then the real stuff starts. Starting with, sorry about that, D2 on Thursday night. Some good matchups there, but the high school hockey Final Four is here, and we couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, so let me do this. You know how it works at the beginning. By the way, the Atlantic flick, I have to give one of my coworkers credit, Mike. I've been talking about the flip in the Atlantic for about 2 years now, that some on the high end we're going to come down and some on the lower end we're going to come up. While I'm kind of surprised at the 2 that faltered in the Atlantic division, it appears right now that Toronto and Florida are mailing it in the rest of the year. As well, they probably should. And while we thought Montreal and Detroit would kind of creep up the standings, I think the one we've all been waiting on, but you and I saw about 2 months ago, is kind of leading the pack in the new money category, and that's the Buffalo Sabres. They continue to amaze almost on a nightly basis.
I wait for it to stop every night, but what that makes is for good TV, because I'm tuning in to watch Buffalo now, because I've got to see it end at some point, but it's not. And now they're making moves. They allegedly did or did not get Parayko. They're in on Thomas. They're allegedly going all in on all these things. But here's my question with it. As fun as this is, and as much as we've wanted Buffalo to be good, who's going to play net for them when it comes playoff time? Like that's are they going to go after a goalie now that, there's Bobrovsky's available, all this stuff going on? But yeah, Buffalo's exciting to watch. I don't get it. I don't understand their success as much as I didn't understand how bad they were.
Mike, the crazy thing is, It almost reminds me of the John Gibson situation, okay? And I realize he's hurt right now, okay? Don't you have to keep going with Alex Lyon until he proves otherwise? And that's where we're at with John Gibson. And listen, everybody and their brother knows Gibson. What are the things that people say about Gibson? He's not going to go the full year. He's going to get hurt. He's not a number one, et cetera, et cetera. I think at this point in time, okay, and obviously he's on the shelf for who knows how long. They call up Kosa. More on that in a second. Don't you have to keep going with that guy? I mean, Alex Lyon has deserved every opportunity to say, this is my job, and you keep going to the well with the guy.
Yeah, but the problem with him is, and we've seen it, son, the more Lyon plays, the worse he gets. He does well. He hits his plateau, and after that plateau of a certain amount of games, he's just not a number one that's going to give you all the games. That's what worries me. He has petered out every year of his career.
Yep. No, there's no. And hey, listen, John Gibson. Hi. Like, really? I mean, that's kind of his MO. You know the routine. I hold on just a second. MHSAA finals weekend. All right, just getting this thing out there. So they call up Sebastian. And Mike, I have no problem in any way, shape, or form with them calling him up, A, and B, seeing what he could do and seeing if he could, quote unquote, wrestle the number one job away going into the playoffs. Crazier things that have happened. I've seen 2 20-year-old goaltenders in my life kind of take over a good team and take them to heights that were not imagined, with Juan 86 and then Cam Ward in 2006. I'm at the point, Mike, like, honestly, just a big why not?
I agree with you. The question is, I had people texting me, and I'm like, the mystery is going to deepen if he does not play. It's just, and I know Gibson's not hurt. It's not like he's long-term. He's day-to-day. He's got a stinger. He's going to be right back. But why not? Why not give it a show? But we say this every time Kosa comes up. I don't see it happening. Gibson is the guy going forward.
He is, no doubt. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Jacob Fowler. Seriously. And you know, I like Dobish, and I stayed up too late last night watching that game, and it kind of went away from them. And the worst part is the Habs came back and tied it late in the third period and then gave up a late goal and then an empty netter and everything. But at this point in time, I've heard Bobrovsky's name attached to Edmonton. How funny is that? Now, I want you to think about that. I seriously, just think about that for a second. Could you imagine that guy, Sergei Bobrovsky, going to Edmonton after what happened the last 2 years? And I've heard his name attached to Montreal. What do you think?
What do I think? Well, you know, I've got $1 billion laid on our Habs at like 150 to 1, all different kinds of crazy numbers that I have. But guess what I did yesterday? Edmonton 13 to 1. So I've got the Bobrovsky trade. I've got the Bobrovsky trade rumors covered. And you know me, Sean. You've known me long enough. I always talk about stories, especially when I bet. I'm like, this is a story. Sports are about stories. When it all comes down to it, we talk about the stories. The story of Bobrovsky leading Edmonton Oilers to the Cup this year would be unbelievable.
Can you believe that? It would be absolutely incredible. Like I'm not, like, that would just be the funniest thing after the last couple of years. Are you kidding me? I don't believe for a second that Montreal is going to go get him, by the way, Mike. Not for a second. I think you are looking at the same thing with Hughes that you're looking at with Steve Yzerman. Yes. I really truly believe that way. I know that we've said it for a couple weeks, and I'm not going to deviate from it. I don't know what Steve Yzerman's going to do. Anybody who tells you that they know what Steve Yzerman is going to do, I'll say it for the umpteenth time, they're lying. Okay? Steve is notorious for keeping his cards close to the vest. So what are we left to do? We are left to kind of compare and contrast what he's done in the past, not just in his time with Detroit, but in his time with Tampa in particular, and say, okay, so what is his MO? All right. And we know about the veteran goaltenders. Let's just churn out veteran goaltenders. Let's see what Rolo can do. Let's see what this guy can do. Oh, we have our Ben Bishop now. Well, Ben Bishop is going to serve a purpose for a few years until our true number one is ready. And that's at Vasilevsky. And I think we've seen that play itself out. I will say it again. Here I go. I hate to sound like a broken record, but this is the only logic that I have, Mike. This is a human being that has said time and time again from the day that he got hired, we are not interested in just getting into the playoffs. We are interested in competing for the Stanley Cup year in, year out. There is not a move out there. There is not two moves out there, Mike, that in my opinion, and you yell at me if you think I'm wrong, there's not a move, there is not two moves out there that legitimately makes the Detroit Red Wings a serious Stanley Cup contender.
Absolutely.
Ergo, I just don't think he's going to make that move. He'll do something. I just don't think it'll be that move.
Nope. I put it in what I tweeted out, and me and you talked about it earlier. They're going to get Reimer and Petrie at the deadline. It's just what's going to happen. No, in all honesty, if they make a trade, it's exactly what you said, John. It's going to be something, a building block that they can put in place for the future when they are ready to compete for the Stanley Cup. They're not going to mortgage the future. Steve likes what he has, and then they'll have to go again. We'll say it come the end of the year. What are they going to do in free agency? Who are they going to bring in? But no one's waiving their no trade to come here anyways. It doesn't matter. This is what is coming out with all these rumors. But yeah, it's about the future, and it's not now.
No, it isn't. And Mike, I feel the same way about Montreal. And I know people love to say that I'm a slapdick. The difference between you and I is you've had them penned into the gosh damn Stanley Cup for about 6 months now. And
I'm the slapdick.
You. Yeah, I've been shaking my fist at you, okay? And honestly, they keep I'm not going to lie to you, they keep proving me right. They do. They keep not yet. I love what they have. And oh, by the way, there's more coming. There's Demidov's buddy who's coming really soon. There's obviously the kid at Michigan that's coming very soon, and they've got their quote unquote goaltender of the future waiting in the wings. They still have an embarrassment of riches that they've not shown yet. And that's why I'm going to repeat. I really think that Yzerman and Hughes are in the same position right now. I don't think they're going to mortgage just yet. Oh, by the way, did I mention Reinbacher, who I'm not giving up on that kid by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't think they're ready to make those moves yet. Well, one man's opinion, I guess we'll find out in the next 48 hours.
Yeah, I agree that the whole Bobrovsky thing, it intrigues me. If there's a team that's going to jump on that, I think it would be Edmonton. I think if you could get him for nothing, it would be something that the Habs could take a shot just because. Yes, we are. We're both. But I think that he would make them a legitimate contender because you've said it over and over. Their goaltending is holding them back.
Yep, it is. And I like Dobish. I mean, the Montembeau things, I mean, it's a year now. Like, stop it. Just end it already, okay? Like, I'm not even being funny anymore. Okay? Oh, he's Quebecois. Like, stop it. It's painful to the guy. Edmonton defense seems bigger issue than goalie. It has been for a long, 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 long time. I mean, the Darnell Nurse jokes. Anybody remember those? However, I think goaltending's also been a weakness. Even with Skinner's hot and cold act in the playoffs, I think both things can be true. I think goaltending's been a weakness as well. And obviously they moved on from him. But yeah, I mean, if you upgrade with a guy who's won multiple Stanley Cups now, I think that's a fair upgrade. Don't you?
Yes, and people play different in front of different goalies, Sean. So, I mean, their defense has definitely always been a sore spot, but their goaltending has been worse. You put someone like Bobrovsky out there with his resume, it makes a difference. Just not the defense, the locker room, the entire team.
Austin, you and I are reading. We're on the same wavelength, okay? All right. And this is what I always say, Mike, when we talk about potential deals, I always say, now turn around and think about it from the other guy's perspective. You know, while you're in the midst of offering Rasmussen or some B-level prospect, okay, I want you to turn around now and play the other general manager and say, do you want those guys? All right? Because what Austin said is absolutely true. And while Kapanen might be a step above because he's really proving it this year, I mean, the kid's having a really good year. If I'm a general manager and the Habs are looking to make a deal, do you know who I'm calling for? I'm calling for Kapanen. I'm calling for Goulet. I'm calling for Reinbacher. I'm calling for things that you don't want to give up, or maybe you're not prepared to give up yet because that depth that's still waiting in the minor leagues isn't quite ready yet. Reinbacher isn't quite ready yet. Michael isn't quite ready yet. You know what I mean? So therefore, you and I are on the exact same page, Austin. That's why I don't think guys like Hughes and Yzerman are going to make moves because they're close, but they're not quite there yet. Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense. Just go look at the standings, Sean. Both those teams are right there in the Atlantic Division. They are doing well against teams in the West. They're right there, and we don't think they're the greatest teams. They're that good. There's still improvement. You're absolutely spot
on. Mike said, of all the crazy Wings rumors, do you think Trocheck makes the most sense? I'll let you go first.
I'm going to say yes. But again, I don't know what it's going to cost. I don't know what people are calling for. Do I like Trocheck? Sure. Here's my problem with it. A Trocheck is such a piece for a team that's right there. I don't know how he lands with the Wings, but I would take him in a heartbeat. And I know you love him.
I do. I know the kid. I watched the kid first in Saginaw, and then when he came to the Whalers, and he was absolutely incredible. Think about him playing with Tom Wilson. Think about that. That was real. That was absolutely real. But now we're gonna play the game. Ready to play the game? We're Drury in New York. All right. I'm Drury in New York. I'm already under an incredible amount of pressure. Right. Some people are killing me for the Panarin deal, which I'm not one of them. But some people are. Some people are killing me for the Panarin deal. I have already went on the record saying this isn't a quote unquote rebuild as much as it's a retool. Right? What are you asking for? What are you asking for? If you already said we're not rebuilding, we're retooling. Yeah, what are you asking for? Because I know what I'm asking for, and I bet you it sounds very similar to what you're asking for.
I want a first rounder, and I want ASP.
Okay. Do you know what I was thinking? I want a first rounder, and I want Casper.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
Very, very, very similar. Very similar in where they're at. One a little bit younger, but that's what they're going to go after. Oh, how about
you ask for that? I mean, seriously, wouldn't you ask for that?
And then my next is, okay, I want a first rounder, a second rounder, and Danielson because he's not on your roster. He's down. And this is where these things go. And then we're going to start reaching into the guys that are playing college hockey and all these other and all over the place. They're going to go after everything, and if they're not doing their jobs.
Risto for a first and a B prospect, maybe. Too soon on the Reimer jokes, yeah. Pretty sure you're both slapdicks, yeah. Our buddy Nuge, good luck to please, gosh darn it, for the love of God, please. Austin said, for peanuts in return, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I wouldn't mind Corey Perry. Not sure what Ken Holland is doing. There's rumors he wants Laine, but also Salin Kemper. The Laine stuff is amazing to me. It is, and having ridden the Patrick Laine experience for the last couple of years, Mike, I 1,000% understand why people feel the way they do about that guy. I hate to say this, okay? I don't like saying this. I think he's one of those guys that knows what the room wants to hear. I think he says all the right things. I really, truly do. I think he's one of those guys that says all the right things. And it isn't his fault that he got hurt, but my goodness gracious, in between being hurt, which seems like that's every few months, he has the highs and then he absolutely disappears. Why somebody would want Patrick Laine right now, I couldn't understand it. I'm not even being funny when I say that. I've had enough of the experience. I want to get off the ride.
And I can't believe me. I've heard a lot of talk from you about Laine, and someone's going to take him, Sean. Someone's going to take a power play specialist. Heck, someone took frickin' Panarin and then extended him, for God's sakes. Someone's going to take Laine. You're not going to get anything. You're not going to get anything. But someone's going to take him off your hands.
Dallas gave up a 2 and a 4 for Myers, proving they're trying to win now. I thought Vancouver won that deal. You know what is really interesting about that is, and we touched on this earlier, and we can get into it deeper, and this is the kind of crazy stuff that's going on right now because Parayko's the same way. The guys rushing to I got the deal first type of stuff, you might want to check those no trade clauses because I think the question that I don't know the answer to now, maybe somebody out there knows the answer. Maybe this was explained on Twitter. Is I think at one point in time Detroit thought that they had Myers, and either he wouldn't waive his no trade clause to go to Detroit because he didn't want to, or he didn't waive his no trade clause because he would have rather have gone to Dallas, and he knew Dallas was working on it. I don't know if Wings fans take that as a slap in the face. It's up to you. I think it's more a make sense for the player type of situation at this point in time, and the quote unquote go home aspect and everything, Mike. But that's happened a few times today, and the Parayko situation sounds like that's exactly the same thing. I mean, it was announced hours ago that he was going to Buffalo, right? Yes, and now there's, it's not official yet. Is it because he won't waive a non-trade? It's kind of weird how the reporting's been today. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, Parayko's wife's probably locked in a room screaming, I'm not going. And he's got to get her to agree to it. But here's my question with this, all this Tyler Myers crap. Why? I mean, a second and a fourth rounder for a guy, I think he's a minus 500 this year. He takes penalties. I don't understand it. It's almost like that, like somebody says they want him, like the Wings were showing a lot of interest. Now everyone's like, well, Yzerman's smart. I don't understand some of these. Like, I don't understand the Tyler Myers love. I don't get it. I guess you have to take what's out there, but we'll see.
Would you consider him a top 4 guy right now?
Because, oh my God, no.
Mike, do you know what I told Shep? At best, you use his size as a 4. You know, as with 3 guys clearly in front of him, but because of his size, if he's paired with the right guy, best case scenario, a quote unquote 4.
I think he's a liability, and if you take him, I think me and you had this conversation when we were driving out to Flint, that you take him and he's on your penalty kill. He can eat some minutes. He's gonna penalty kill, but he's a 5 in my book at best.
You know, it's interesting to me. Somebody asked, does Dougie Hamilton get traded? He should, right? He should. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's but that's just how ugly that situation has gotten in New Jersey. Like, they want to trade him now. He's like, nope. It's an inner fight between Dougie Hamilton and the Devils, and I almost feel like he's fucking with them right now. Should he get traded? Yes. But with everything he's almost screwing them in the point that they're going to have to get him because he's so unhappy, and they're not going to get anything for him, and someone's going to get a hell of a defenseman.
Did he go to Dallas? Wait a second. Did he go to Dallas, gave the 4th for Vancouver to eat half his salary? Well, I mean, I think the whole thing with that is again, and I know some Red Wing fans might take it as a slap in the face. I get it. I'm not, I get it. I'm not mad at the guy for doing something like that. Number one, you put that in your contract for a reason. Number two, the kid's a Texas guy. I'm not going to begrudge a guy like that. You're 36 years old. You play your whole career to find yourself in a position like this, right? I'm not going to begrudge him of that. Not at all.
No. He's a serviceable NHL defenseman. It's just, again, we say this all the time, whether it's the Red Wings or anybody else, it just depends what you're expecting out of them. And as long as they're not thinking this guy's going to come in and log 1 minute, I mean, it'll be fine.
Totally random, but JVR has quietly had a good season. Lots of people focus on the negatives, but he's been great for the price on a 1-year deal. Great is it hasn't been bad. How's that? Is that fair? I hate using the word great. So you're asking the wrong guy. It hasn't, for a lot of the shit that Steve has gotten for some of his free agent signings. I think JVR was probably better than most people thought it would be. Is that fair?
100%. The guy proved he can still play and be serviceable in the NHL. Put in the right environment.
Will Mason Appleton score a goal in 2026? YRN, go.
Oh, God, you asked this in a group message, and I avoided it, Sean, because No.
Remember when he was like leading the Wings, like early on? Remember he was on pace for like 55 goals or some
Greatest
crap like
signing
that.
ever.
How do you feel about teams sitting guys days before the deadline? Ray, I'm still trying to come to grips with the Leafs mailing it in, and I'm still, and I'm not saying, you know who I'm a fan of. I don't hide it. Okay, hi. I'm not saying this to take a shot, Mike. Honestly, when we talked about, I've talked about the Atlantic, the flip. Okay, that there was going to be a group of teams that were going to replace a group of teams, like that was coming. When I said that, I didn't envision the two teams that would falter would be the Florida Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. I did not envision that. And yet here we are. And now that opens up the whole can of worms. Do the Leafs make a change at the top again with both general manager and head coach?
I'm so glad you brought this up. When you sent me the text, Adam Finney's going to score 50, by the way. Is that who just scored? But anyways, I digress there. But our buddy Hubie sent me a text about the Leafs, and you sent me a text saying we're going to talk about the Leafs in Florida. I think there are two teams we were surprised that it flipped like this, but they're in two different situations. Florida, take a breather, maybe get rid of when they're looking at Greer and Bobrovsky, some free agents, but get some rest. They still have a window of opportunity, right? They still have some time left in them. The Leafs, all I said to Hubie is it's over. It's done. They need to get rid of everybody and everything that anybody will take and just start it over. Sean, if they don't, they're going to be really bad for a really long time if they keep trying to hang on.
It is, and I know a lot of Leaf fans got mad at me, Mike, and you were probably, this was one of the shows. At some point in time, you had to say, listen, this core four thing isn't working. And Marner left on his own. And this mix, for whatever reason, it isn't working. It isn't working. And now you have to figure out where to go from here. I mean, really, you have to figure out where to go from here. Ray joined us late, but I have no problem doing this. Elliot Friedman mentioned Stamkos, O'Reilly being moved, maybe Marcia show. Would you want any of them for the Wings and the Habs? Mike, I think I can speak for both of us. I think both teams are in similar positions where the desire is there, but the potential price tag of what you might have to give up in a year like this, where, in my opinion, I know you don't agree, Mike, neither one of them are a serious contender to win the Eastern Conference. I don't think that that's something that's plausible. I just don't. I don't.
No, and I don't know. I mean, Elliot Friedman, he's mentioning this, but everything I hear is these guys don't want to go. And I think a lot of these guys nowadays have the option of where they go and where they don't go with no trade clauses. I don't see that happening. And again, I keep saying it for the Wings. Like when I look at a Stamkos or an O'Reilly, I'm not going to go with Marcia show. They're so desired that what they could mean to a locker room and a team. Like it's just not right now. Just not right now for the Wings. We're a couple of years away from that.
Yeah. Yep. We talked about Bobrovsky earlier. The Edmonton stuff is hysterical. I'll repeat myself. I get his name has been attached to Montreal. I don't think they do that. I mean, it would in essence be they're dead set on Fowler's their goalie of the future, right? Why would you go pick up a guy just for this spring in a year that, Mike, sorry, regardless of what your bet says, they're not a legitimate threat to go win a Stanley Cup. Sorry, they just
I liked it. I liked it. I like when you sound like that because I think you have sounded like that every time they've won the cup, my friend. So I like that. So here's the thing. When we're talking,
broke me. I'm just going to leave it at that. 92. That was 92 broke me. They should have won that spring, but
when we're talking about Bobrovsky right now, and let's just put it on two teams. We're putting it on Montreal and Edmonton. We're making this all up as we go along.
Sure.
Montreal has Dobish. They've got Fowler. They like their Montablos. Like they've got their goalies. Edmonton does not. So if you go to Montreal, if you're going to give him to Montreal for nothing, they might take a stab for a rental for 1 year for nothing. Edmonton, if they have a chance and they think that's what it is, I don't know what their prospects. I don't know what Edmonton has. Edmonton's going to offer them the world to get him if they think that's what's going to get Draisaitl and McDavid a cup.
Yep. I think so. I think so. Any team under the radar you guys can see making a run in either conference? Oh, I like that question. I can't say under the radar anymore, but we've been ringing that Sabre bell for a long, long time. Mike, we cannot say under the radar. We can't say under the radar anymore. If you haven't awakened to what's happening with the Buffalo Sabres, I don't know what to tell you. Like even with the games in hand, like the Habs could flip the Wings, for example, and would it be Buffalo and Montreal in the first round? And I poop myself. Not only is Buffalo, in that 2 spot right now, Mike, they're only a couple points behind Tampa. Now, granted, they have a couple games in hand on Tampa and they have a game in hand on Montreal, but I can't say under the radar right now in any way, shape, or form. I just can't. I think Edmonton would be the one team. The runs that they've made the last couple years, do they have another one left in them? Sure. I don't know if people can say Minnesota at 82 points is exactly under the radar, but yeah. I think, again, this is 2 years in a row I've said this. I think the Wild are pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's one of those that if we win a month back, we could say Minnesota because a lot of people were cold on them, but they've gotten back and they are who we thought they were. If there's someone that I would say outside of who you mentioned, it would be my Mammoth. The Utah Mammoth. They've been there. They've got some skill. They've got a little bit of everything. I don't know about the goaltending, but that would be a team that, again, and you keep hearing them in trade rumors, if they could add some of these veteran guys that are out there, they could be a team. But I'm in full agreement with you. I don't know with the run they're on if we can say Buffalo anymore, but that team scares the hell out of me.
Really scares the hell out of you. Like legit. Like really, like no argument. I'll say it again. I don't know if the secret's out yet. Christian Keller's outstanding. I'm not sure if he gets the Edmonton trading for another goalie after swapping Skinner for Jerry would be hilarious. It would be so Edmonton. Who gives Colorado its best series, or is it Colorado versus the field? That's a great question. They've come, in fairness, they've come a little bit back down to earth. Dallas has been on a heater, obviously. The
West is nasty. The West is nasty.
I'm thinking, who I wouldn't want to face in the playoff, and I'm being really serious when I say this after watching them last night, San Jose.
Oh, wow.
They are going to be, I'm not saying that they're going to pull an upset or anything. Do people know, Mike, they're going to be really good really soon. They're going to be really, really good really, really soon. I mean that.
Yeah, their young guys play hockey the right way, and they're just flying around there. But I mean, you look at the West. I mean, I think my hopes for our Habs and Vegas.
I'm not falling for Dallas. I'm not falling for Dallas again.
You can't. You can't. Dallas has tricked you on Tinder a couple of times. You got to get off of them, buddy. They totally catfished you. But like I'm watching Vegas over the last they're dog crap. I know my Montreal Vegas bet is dead. They look like crap. But Edmonton no. But I mean Anaheim no. Edmonton, Colorado's not going to cakewalk out of the West. I'm sorry. It's just not. We know hockey. It's not how it happens.
Nope. San Jose is playing with house money, bunch of 19-year-old kids just having fun with nothing to lose. That's the funniest thing. I mean, Mike, the Habs are still the youngest team in the NHL. Like, legitimately, you know that, right? I mean, that's the craziest thing about it. And that's last year was like a year ahead. And this year, we talked about it earlier. Did I expect to step up? Yes, but not like a legitimate threat. San Jose is loaded. Just absolute. I watched them last night, man, and just the pressure they kept on in the attacking zone was. It's going to be fun to watch how this plays itself out.
Yeah, it's one of those though that It's a good problem to have, but eventually these guys need to be signed, and that's the tricky part that it gets into. Hopefully they can sign. I love when teams can stay together from their youth on up because they're a fun team to watch. I just can't stay up that late. They need more East Coast games.
Now I got to look it up. Can I look up I'm going to look up the where San Jose is on this list. So Chicago just passed the Habs. Their average age is 26.04. The Habs are 26.13. Les Sabres de Buffalo 26.15. San Jose comes in at 26.79 for what it's worth. For what it's worth. So yeah, one of the youngest teams. Detroit, in case you're wondering, 28.09, kind of middle of the pack. So Bobrovsky to San Jose, could that get them over? Not this year. But would that be fun next year? Oh, my goodness. Would you like Detroit or Montreal to call Toronto for Tavares if the Leafs are going to go with a full rebuild?
What's his contract?
Was it 2 years? Didn't he sign for 2 years?
If he's on a 2-year contract, and I think we have a chance of winning a series.
4 years.
No. Nope. I'm not taking Grandpa on 4 years. I'll take Grandpa on this year being done in one more year. Absolutely.
So he's got $4.389 million till the end of 29. No. Is Carey Price's age counting San Jose's roster? Serious question. I don't think so because he's on long term. I don't think that counts on there. No, that's something that's that long term. So that does not count on there. It's still so funny. Carey Price is a member of the San Jose Sharks. Are you aware of that? Are you aware? No. And I saw John Tavares from the day he came in, the first special exemption. He was phenomenal in Oshawa. At this juncture in his career, no. Especially at $4.389 million. No, and no. How's that? Ovi being moved if Washington isn't going all in, get him another cup. I haven't heard that. I think Ovi is one of those, if that's something he would be interested in, that's something that I'm sure that they would approach. They're not that far out. The problem is they have some games in hand. Like they've played 63 games, whereas Boston, Montreal have played 60. Detroit's played 61. So they find themselves a few points behind. But I wouldn't imagine Ovi moving at this juncture of his career.
I think two things. I think one is that they still have a squad that can make the playoffs and play, and as long as that's happening, he's not going anywhere. And the way things go nowadays, we would know. Like with social media and the leaks, we would already know, like, hey, this is his last year. He's going to want to move or whatever. But right now, he's going to stay in Washington. He's got his cup, not to say we're all just settled with one, but he's got his cup and he's got a team that can make the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt about it. If the Kings – all right, here's a question. It would take a King's ransom, but if Austin Matthews were available, would the hypothetical trade be worth it? Did he prove the haters wrong in the Olympics for you guys? I'd take him. I don't have no problem. Okay, what do you want me to? Yes, Mike. I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Yeah, and did the Olympics change? Yes, we saw 200-foot Poppy, and I like 200-foot Poppy, but 200-foot Poppy's not going to score you 60 goals, 65 goals. 200-foot Poppy's going to play a full game against anybody. You can put him on the ice at all times. He's not going to be a liability, and he can still score goals like a madman. I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Does Dallas scare you, Ray? Dallas has bit my butt 2 years in a row. So I'm not going to let them bite me again. They bit my butt 2 years in a row, and I'm just not going to let them bite me. You're asking the wrong guy 100%. Does Jason Robertson get moved? Not before the deadline. I don't think he's got a long-term future there, though. How's that?
Yeah, I agree. If the return is of the same, I could see it happening, but I think Dallas is moving forward with him. and they may or may not make an offer to him, and they're probably going to lose him in the offseason. But I just can't see. Can you see? I just can't see Dallas making that move right now.
Yeah. McDavid for Matthews would be the only offer I would take.
That's not even close. I don't know.
No. The pro scouting team has given Detroit fans nothing to be excited about. The fact that they went after Tyler Myers leads me to believe it's more disappointment. Can't wait to see the Wings acquire Patterson and pay 11.6 for 6 years for 40 points a year. Drew, that was Drew, right? I want to make sure. I think that was my buddy Drew. Yeah, it was. Drew, we talked about this earlier in the show. I think fans are going to be disappointed. I just don't think there's going to be a big move. I'm sorry. They're just not there yet. They're not. But the Pedersen stuff, I don't get it. What do you want me to say? I don't get that, Mike. Can you make that make sense?
That scares the life out of me. And that was I said that Hubie got me on a side text. He was going, and I just kept saying my nightmare Pedersen. I don't get that. They would have to retain 90% of his contract, and we would have to give up nothing for me to take that bump.
Yep, no doubt. All right, geez, Mike, we've been diarrhea of the mouth. High school finals this weekend. Tomorrow, Flint Powers gets it started. The defending D2 champion, they get it started against UAD at 5:00. Livonia Stevenson takes on Caledonia. Then Division 3, 11:00 in the morning on Friday. I'm going to give full props to the MHSAA. They do a fantastic job running this. It's a great rink. Very familiar with every corner of that rink. Looking forward to a big weekend. And if you follow high school hockey in any way, shape, or form, you know Mike, myself, John Kidd, the coach, we got you covered all weekend long. Mike, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm extremely excited. I keep saying I'm extremely excited to get to your house to barbecue and talk about our thoughts before we get there. But if you're a fan of high school hockey, you have to be there tomorrow night for that Stevenson Caledonia game, Sean. We've been talking about, I think this is going to be a dandy. Stevenson's really coming into themselves, and we've got a goalie in Caledonia and Sam Hogue that has done it for his entire career. We said this year, 809 shots against, 46 goals given up. And even the Powers UAD game intrigues me. Can someone keep Powers under 8 goals? I mean, and UAD, hey, they're here. They got it. We know they're going to work hard. But that Stevenson Caledonia game tomorrow, I can't wait to see them. I think that's going to be a dandy.
It always love when Houghton comes down. They got a great matchup against the Bay Reps. Really looking forward to that one. Orchard Lake St. Mary's, the defending D3 champion, they're in action against Liggett. A great story there. Right where I'm sitting right now, Northville and Ike, that should be fantastic. Rockford and Catholic Central. If you haven't given high school hockey a try, why don't you come out to USA Hockey Arena? You can buy Mike and I a gluten-free pizza. Shout out to Coach Hunter for bringing that up. But yeah, we'll definitely see you in the bar there. My fellow Habs fan asked an interesting question that we talked about earlier, Mike. Chris said, Montem blows or Bobrovsky? And the answer to that is Fowler.
No, that's not what it says. It says 4, like a trade.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Wait, okay, I'm in. Yeah. Hey, Sam, you want to go back to Florida?
Sean, I'm telling you.
I don't want to. If you make a deal like that, yeah, obviously, geez, Pete, go right ahead. But I'd rather give Fowler a chance. I really would.
If that deal happens, if they trade, if that's all they have to give up, and that solves all of our problems for the future, where we'll have a Dobish and Fowler future as woof. Here come the Red Wings, Edvinson. But if that happens, I will. Yep, 2-1. I will double down. They're on top of them too. I'll double down on my bet. I will clear my accounts to put it on our Habs.
Don't do that. All right. Hope San Jose takes the Avs out in the first round. Wouldn't that be funny? Would that? I did
it to the Wings.
Listen, if San Jose gets in, I'm being deadly serious. I would not want to play that team. They're too young and dumb. Like, they don't know. Like, there's a lot of danger there. No doubt about it. All right, anything else before we get out of here?
No, I think we covered it all.
All right. So, yeah, you're coming over tomorrow. We're going to make it work tomorrow, Mike. I'm going to be optimistic. We are going to make true bacon cheeseburgers. Yep. I don't care if I have to put a pound of bacon in each patty. We are going to make true bacon burgers.
We're going to put bacon inside. We're going to mix it. And then we're going to pound it on top of it.
On top.
Yes. Do you want me to bring the bacon salt?
Let's see if we can do it with the regular bacon first. Deal? Deal. And I got some good sharp Irish cheddar that we're gonna mix in there, and we're gonna finally make this work. Because seriously, you guys, sorry to go off on a tangent. Whenever you hear bacon cheeseburger, you never taste the bacon. You never taste the bacon. So Mike and I have tried a couple different times to make a true bacon cheeseburger. And the last time we did it, when was that? Like in the fall? Oh, this had to have worked, right? Oh, it had to have worked. We put so much bacon in there, it wasn't enough. So now, like, legitimately, I have 3 pounds of bacon, and I'll fry all 3 of them if I have to, gosh damn it. But we're making a real bacon cheeseburger.
Yes, and we've got some chicken Cajun sausage. I can't wait to try. Chicken Cajun sausage, you know what it tells? I want some ranch. I want to dip it in some ranch. But I also have our fourth, I think, contender in the chili cheese brat. I got a chili cheese brat.
I'm intrigued. All right, you guys, take care. Hopefully you check out some of the action at USA Hockey Arena. Mike, I'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, you guys have a fantastic night, and I hope all your dreams come true during this next 48 hours of the trade deadline, even though they won't. Bye.
What the Puck with Sean Baligian. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Always Pushing Forward by Elliot Middleton. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated Podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.